Welcome back to Gears Tactics. It has actually been nearly 2 years since I've streamed this game. It's hard for me to believe that the game is that old because I still think of it as being sort of the most recent, really interesting entry in sort of the turn-based tactical genre. It sort of springboards off what XCOM has done, but it takes it a lot further in a few interesting directions. There isn't a solid grid on the ground. They've got this sort of turn management system where you're basically trying to get as many actions into each turn as you possibly can by chaining together character abilities. The benefits to a weird min-maxer are just immense in this game, which means that I absolutely love it. But it's also, the missions tend to be long, kind of exhausting, and so after a while of playing it, I tend to get a little bit tired, and so I've never actually won the game. So I'm actually kind of grateful to Tandilense, one of my viewers, who spent some channel points and asked me to play this game again, because this is actually motivating me to get back into it and remember what it is I liked about it. Now, we're pretty late in the game. We're in Act 3, which I think is of 3 acts, Chapter 4. But right now, hopefully this won't have a lot of spoilers, because we are at a stage in the game where we're just playing sort of, I think these are procedurally generated missions, or at least they're fairly generic missions. Basically, each stage along the story, there's like a big story mission you're going to go on, but before you go on that mission, you go on a couple of smaller, more generic, less story-relevant missions to build up your characters, accomplish some objectives, unlock some rewards, and so that's the stage we're in now. So this is actually really good timing, because, that way we can sort of play some late game content, see what this game is like in the late game, without necessarily spoiling a bunch of late game storylines for people who want to, to get through the game themselves. So yeah, Tendalense says that we've got, let's see here, 8 chapters in Act 3. So that means I'm about halfway through the final act. So that's about where we are in the game. Before we start a mission, let's quickly have a look at our characters. So each of the characters in the game, these top 5 characters are sort of the story characters, the ones that have to show up for story missions and that you have to keep alive. And so we've got Gabe Diaz, who's sort of the main hero of the game, Sid Redburn, who's sort of the mentor type character, Michaela Dorn, who's sort of the outsider who they recruit, who's among the people who have been sort of abandoned and forgotten by the government. And then Augustus Cole is a fan favorite character from the other Gears games, who was actually, I think he was available as like a pre-order bonus or something like that. And then on top of all of them, and this is, I think, a new addition since the last time I streamed this, you've got Jack. They actually did, I think, a free expansion to the game that included adding Jack, which is this sort of little floating stealth robot character from the original Gears of War games, to the game. And so he's not a combat character mostly. He buffs your heroes, he debuffs the enemy, and it's pretty easy to keep him safe if you decide to devote effort to keeping him safe. And then down here, though, I've got a bunch of characters who are not story characters. These characters, some of them I believe are... I don't know if they're actually... if these characters were created by the development team and just sort of randomized into my game, or if they're randomly generated. It's hard to tell the difference. In State of Decay 1, we made a whole bunch of characters and then randomly chose them. In State of Decay 2, we actually procedurally generated them. And players, honestly, unless you're a super hardcore long-term player who really has cycled through all the characters in the game, there's no way to tell the difference between those two things. So each of these characters falls into one of a number of different classes. We've got snipers, scouts, supports, and heavies. And each of them, I have been accumulating rewards over, new equipment and things like that over the course of the game, and assigning them to these characters. And so when I go on one of these sort of generic missions, a lot of times what I want to do is max out the rewards that I can get from the mission and also bring characters with me that I want to level up. So let's have a look at the missions we have available to us. So this one is Wasteland Rescue. I can only bring 1 unit with me because I'll be rescuing new units while I'm there. That can actually be extremely hard, and so I'm nervous about choosing that one when I haven't been playing the game very much for the past year or so. This one, Burning Warlord, I'm not sure. It's an incursion. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it's a little less scary than a rescue mission. The rewards are less fancy. And it's modifiers that I can't use disabling shot, so I'll have to keep that in mind. This one, it looks like Grenadiers get extra evasion. I assume that means enemy grenadiers get more evasion, so they're harder to hit. And this one's a sabotage mission, and I need to deploy a support if I want to get the optional objective. So the question is, so goonbuggy is recommending that I try the first one. I mean, that's certainly, you know what, that has a tendency to... I mean, things get pretty harrowing in rescue missions, and so maybe that will push us to have a little bit more of an interesting episode. It also could mean that I fail and have to restart. So that's the debate I'm having in my head. Is it interesting to watch me nearly get killed but succeed? Sure. Is it interesting to watch me play the same thing multiple times because I can't succeed at it? Probably less so. But Goonbuggy's like, he's saying, get on it. Okay, fine. Okay, so if I choose Burning Overlord, I need to bring a scout, and the scout actually needs to be my only character that I bring with me, and then I'm going to be recruiting additional characters along the way. So we're going to try it. The last time I took on a crazy challenge, I failed at it, so cross your fingers for me. So we want to choose a scout. Marcella is my most advanced scout character, so I feel like maybe if I want to be safe, I should bring her. What other scouts do I have? I've got this scout named Lacey. I could have a look at their skills and try to see. She's only level 3. I think I'm just not confident at bringing a level 3 character into a mission like this. So, okay, so anytime the unit uses the cloak skill, I get an extra action. So I can use that to escape danger. When I'm hidden, I can move further, so I'll want to stay hidden while I'm trying to advance and recruit some people, rescue some people. Frag grenade mastery. Okay, so I can throw grenades more often, so I should feel free to throw grenades. Quick swap. When I kill an enemy with a shot, I reduce my frag grenade throw ability and cooldowns. Okay, so this character could just spam grenades basically. I can shoot twice, I can sprint, I can throw proximity mines, and cool. Okay, I don't want to read everything. So yeah, I think we're going to choose Marcella. Spectre. We're going to choose Spectre, and we're going to deploy and hope we haven't just signed on to get ourselves absolutely killed. So Caprain Jarden says, I hated the one-person missions.
Basic rescue. Find the locust torture pods, free the prisoners, get them back safe. And maybe dispense a little justice along the way.
They are pretty terrifying. I agree. By the way, let me know if my audio mix is off at all. Okay, so we got a prisoner there. And a prisoner here. All units must survive. And I've only got 15 turns to do it in. So that's how they basically put turn limits on a lot of these missions, specifically so that you have to keep moving. You can't just turtle up. So this is a turn-based tactics game, so I've got all the time in the world to decide what I'm going to do. And luckily, I get to have Jack with me. In the original release of the game, Jack was not a part of it. And it was very... These missions were even more harrowing. Luckily, with Jack's help, I've got a little bit of support. So the first thing I want to do is probably just go collect this reward. So when you notice there's no grid like in an XCOM game. So when I select something, she just shows me the route that she's going to take to get there and how many action points that line is going to take. So this is going to take 2 of her 3 action points. Okay. So there's enemies closer than I expected them to be. So let's figure out what we want to do about that. I've only got 1 action point left, so I should have been more careful. I've already started screwing up. I should have been more careful. I am out of cover right now, and these guys are all going to get on me real fast. So let me have a look at my abilities. I can cloak, and actually, this character, when she cloaks, she gets an extra action. So I can cloak, I can move to a different spot, and get myself a little safer. And I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm curious, proximity mine. I'm wondering if throwing a proximity mine will undo my cloak. Let's try this. So I'm gonna cloak. That gets me an extra movement point, and that means that my movement is increased. So the question is, I'm not exactly... I've forgotten what causes my cloak to expire. It looks like I've got these little eyeball icons. I can't tell if this is telling me this is who I will be able to see or if this is who will see me if I do this, if I make this move. So I'm going to go over here and see if that character reveals me.
No problem.
Okay, good. I was not revealed. That means that what that meant was this little icon, this little eyeball icon in the line, that's just saying who I will be able to see, who I will be able to shoot at, not who will be able to see me. That makes me happy. All right, so now the question is, can I place a proximity mine where these guys are likely to move? The thing is, ideally what I want is a proximity mine that's going to hit 2 of them if one of them moves. So, like, I'm going to put one right here that will hit this guy if either of the other guys advances. And let's see if that reveals me or not. Okay, it's not directly offensive. Okay, nope. Okay, it did reveal her. Okay, so any action that I take, I only did that because I was already in cover. So I was feeling fairly safe. But any action that I take will, aside from movement, will undo my cloak. So, okay, good to know. And tandilense was hinting the same thing. I just didn't notice. So now I got to decide what Jack's going to do. Because I've leveled up Jack a bunch, he's got a lot of options. So, for instance, I can increase my accuracy and damage with a character. I can cloak Jack, which you usually want to save at least one action for that. I can break line of sight. I can create a barrier. Okay, actually, let's do that. Because my character is so under fire, let's put a barrier on her to protect her. So now she has 40% damage reduction if they attack her. And what else can we do? Okay, so I can mod her. I should remember this for future turns. When she's actually going to be using her gun, I should use Jack to try and improve her shots. But because I think that all of his actions, they last only 1 turn. So I think I don't want to do most of the rest of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Jack. So one thing I could also do, Jack is capable of collecting things. So what I probably should have done was use Jack to collect that thing rather than having Marcella do it. But whatever. Oh, wait, what? Oh, dang it. What did I just do?
That's it.
So one thing I had it... I thought that I had movement selected. I was trying to move him. What did I do instead by accident? A sonic capsule. Okay, so great. Well, I just did a thing I didn't need to do. Let's hope that I don't do this same wrong thing again. Let's cloak Jack. I wanted to move Jack a little closer, but instead, I just did an extra thing I didn't need to do. Okay, so that guy got interrupted. That guy is overwatching me. Yeah, so, you know, that Sonic thing I just launched would have been great for disrupting that. And keeping them from... Dang it! Okay, so is there anything else that Jack can do, though? Smoke capsule. Okay, yeah, so Jack can fire a smoke capsule that blocks line of sight, and that will prevent these guys from making their Overwatch attacks. The only problem is it's kind of small. So I'm not sure the best place to stick it. So, I'm gonna... Okay, let's see here. So we got 2 guys. So this guy who's hitting her from this side is probably the most dangerous. Let's make sure we block him. Let's fire that. Okay, so her line of sight is also blocked. I think she can't fire. But I think maybe now she can move without getting shot. Wait, let's switch to her. So if she moves here, yes, she will not be shot. And she'll have an angle on this guy. So now, Jack can also buff her damage, I think. He can buff her accuracy anyway. Let's do that.
That's it.
Just for fun. So I'm just using up all of Jack's abilities. It's great. So now... Oh, wait, I don't have a valid target? Oh, is the smoke blocking me from shooting this guy? Fine. Oh, I'm just in the smoke, aren't I? Okay, hold on. I need to back up even further then. Then back up even further. And then I'm going to Overwatch. And so basically, if this guy comes around the corner, he's getting shot.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
I'm not playing this very well, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's see what they do. Okay. They're just being obnoxious, is what's going on. Okay, I'm wasting turns. So, I'm just going to... I'm going to give her some damage reduction. And then, let's just... Let's frag some guys. Actually, I think, okay, what I'm going to do is, no. I'm going to... fire at a guy. What is this? Oh, disabling shot. Yeah, no, I'm just going to shoot at a guy and just take the opportunity damage. Okay, so I took that guy down, and now the opportunity attack is gone. And now I can use my frag grenade. To just completely murder this dude.
Frag out. Scratch one grub.
And then I've got one move left. And I think I'm going to use it to Overwatch. Where is he likely to go? I don't know. He might just leap over that thing and come at me from this angle, or he could go over here. I guess I'll... He's unlikely to go this way because of the smoke. Let's just Overwatch that direction.
On it.
See what happens. And then Jack... let's just keep his stuff going. Yeah, let's move him somewhere he can get to without using all of his actions, and then cloak him. You always want to leave one action for Jack to cloak. Oh, he did go that way. But he couldn't fire at me because he was blind. Okay, so now we're in good shape. Let's smack that guy. Yes! Critical hit. And then let's run up and execute him. Now, if I had multiple characters, doing this execution move would give extra moves to those characters. And actually, I think you can see that Jack now has 4 moves. So, okay. That took way too long. I'm really worried about this. So I'm going to move Jack up to see what else might be out here. Okay. Okay, there is an enemy up there. Good to know. We're going to cloak Jack, so he can't be shot at.
Standing by.
And then we'll move Spectre a little bit in that direction, which is about all we can manage. No, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to cloak her. Because then she can move a little bit further, and she kind of gets free cloaking. Oh, she can't really move that much further. Whatever.
Understood.
Okay, so she's going to move up. She's staying cloaked. So now the enemy can't attack us at all, but they're moving around anyway, because we've activated them.
Time to go.
Okay, so Jack is going to go grab this. Because I like prizes. That's where that enemy is. That was all of Jack's moves, so we're going to cloak Jack.
Okay.
So Caprain says that failure is a staple of this kind of game, and so therefore I should just lean into the failure and enjoy it. Okay, so I've just cloaked again, and I'm going to get as close as I can while remaining cloaked. I think that might be this spot right here.
Affirmative.
Okay.
Here we go.
So now these guys, okay, they're going to reveal themselves. They can't attack me. Okay, so now, can I throw a grenade to hit that guy? From here, yes, I can. Oh, I can almost kill him. So let's do that.
Outgoing frag.
But he's not down into execute territory yet. But I got him low enough that I might actually be able to hit him with this. Oh no, but I can't actually. Okay, I would have to move before I can shoot him. So if I were to move up here, then I will be able to hit him. But who else will be able to hit me? That guy down below. I think I'm safer from him on this side. Who knows? There could be a third guy too. Okay, so I'm gonna move up here,
Roger that.
which leaves me one thing open. And then if I were to attack this guy with my pistol, would I do enough damage to kill him? Let me... Yes, that is enough damage to kill him. Hit chance 77% though. That makes me nervous. But Jack? 40% accuracy or 15 and extra damage. Okay, so I don't need extra damage with the snow pistol. I'm doing enough damage. So let's do targeting array and give me some extra
Shit, yeah.
accuracy. So now, hopefully... Okay, that didn't work. I'm still at 77%. Why did that not work? Ah. Well, luckily, that still was fine. Oh, so tandilense is suggesting that I could actually use Jack. This is the thing I haven't done a lot of yet. I could use Jack to if I hadn't done that useless targeting thing, I could totally get Jack to release the prisoner. But unfortunately, I did do the useless targeting thing, so I can't. So I'm going to move Jack over here. I'm going to cloak him, and I guess we'll get the prisoner next turn. I'm very disappointed that that targeting thing didn't do anything. Okay, good. Yeah, so that guy came up this way, which means I think I chose the right cover, though... Oh, of course that's what he's doing. All right, well, Jack, are you able to act? Are you undercover? Sonic Capsule. Enemies inside the air effect lose their opportunity attacks. I'm assuming that is this an opportunity attack? Or is an opportunity attack like when you run up to somebody? Because there's certain enemies that will do a melee attack on you if you run up to them. And so I'm wondering if that's an opportunity attack, and using this ability will have no effect on this. I think a bunch of guys walked into one of these and were able to still do these Overwatch moves. So I'm betting this is not going to work. I'm betting what I need instead is Smoke Capsule. Okay, so I can't reach him without also reaching her. Oh, maybe that's fine? If I block his entire line of sight to her, I can get her out of the way. Okay, he was interrupted. Great. Okay, so what that means is... Okay, can Jack, with having made that one move, can he do this? Yes, he can. Okay, so he's going to release the prisoner. So we got a new guy coming out who looks really damaged. But now we've got a second guy. And so what are we going to have him do? So he can do a bayonet charge on this guy. What does that look like? He'll kill that guy. Okay, that works for me.
They won't like this.
All right, guy is got. And now we can execute the other guy.
You got it.
And we're good.
That's what I thought.
And then that actually gave everyone, I think...
And stay down.
an extra move, so we can actually start getting out of here and headed towards the other thing, which is way the heck down there. Okay, so
I'm listening.
Jack, lead the way, I guess. Okay, this is about as far as I can get. So we'll run over here. This is kind of dangerous, but I'm expecting that no enemies are close. No, I meant to... Come here. Guy, go over here. There we go.
To position.
By the way, notice that when you kill all the enemies, all of your characters automatically reload. It's just like a nice little bonus thing that your characters are capable of doing, but it's so convenient. Once they decided to do that, they basically just balanced the game around it.
Time to go.
And it just means that you don't have to go through that process you go through in XCOM where you're like, okay, reload, reload, reload as you're moving on to the next group of enemies. Okay, so I am a frag grenade specialized character, which means groups like this are what I am built for. Oh, I am disappointed by how high their health is. Okay, this is probably the most effective move. And it does make them more killable, all of them. But, yeah, so, okay, so from here I'll be able to see a couple of different guys. So I'm going to
Moving out.
move up here. These guys are going to be climbing up and coming after me, though. Oh, but I can also place a proximity mine. I'm going to place a proximity mine just on these guys. If either of them moves, they both blow up.
Ready.
So that's her. So I think I'm going to put this guy in. So those guys are going to try to climb that ladder and blow up, hopefully. This guy, I'm going to set him to watch that ladder.
Scanning now.
And then Jack. So I'm not sure what kind of enemy this is. This guy could be dangerous. So I'm going to... Let's see here. Jack can do a couple of things. Can I damage reduce both of these guys? No. So I'm going to damage reduce her, because I think she's the most likely target for the enemies.
All right.
And then... I don't know if I've got another more great stuff to do, so I think I'm just going to... Yeah, I guess I'll just move... Wait, I think I'll just move Jack. I'm just going to move him a little bit, so he's closer to stuff, and then cloak him. All right, see what they do. Yes! Oh, he was not killed, but interrupted. This guy's going to climb up and we'll get shot. Oh, yes, twice, because that guy had enough movement points. So basically, when you Overwatch in this game, you don't just get one shot. You get as many shots as you had.
Let's kick some ass.
You get as many shots as you had points, basically. So if you have somebody do nothing but Overwatch, they can do all kinds of Overwatch damage. Okay, so now we've got guys just right at the bottom. And I think this guy has got an opportunity attack. If I get close to him, then I get shot. This guy as well. It looks like they both have opportunity attacks. So this might actually be the time when it's good to use Jack's thing that negates opportunity attacks. So let's Sonic Capsule these guys. And then...
Yep.
So I think... So now if I come down here, I'm not going to get instantly killed by these dudes. I can get under cover and still take one shot at them.
Taking position.
So I'm going to do that. My plan is to at least take out the little melee guy, because we can remove him as a threat. I'm just not sure where everyone can be. Okay, so she can run around over here. So let's do that. Let's have her run around over here. And then I'm going to try to take a nice, big, close-range shotgun blast at this guy. And see what damage I can do. Okay, so even with the 2 shots, I'm not going to take him down enough. So what I think I'm going to do instead is I'm going to opportunity attack this guy, or like Overwatch this guy. So if he moves, I interrupt him. And then this guy, oh, he needs to reload his Lancer. Well, let's use our snub pistol then. He's just going to kill that, hopefully. No! Of course he missed. Of course he missed. Welp. That means this guy's going to run out and do something. Let's shield the character I care the most about.
Yes.
And then let's cloak him. Yeah, so tandilense says that heavy guys are particularly good at those like long-term Overwatch things. Basically, some heavy units have got like a special ability that makes it so that like they're even more. The longer you leave them in place, just doing nothing but overwatching, the more effective they are against against enemies. So okay, so now this guy's got this massive opportunity attack area around him. So I feel like this has to be the first character that I use. I can use a frag grenade. Doesn't look like it'll even affect the enemy. Why? Oh, it's a proximity mine, not a frag grenade. I want to use a frag grenade. Frag grenade. Can I hit both of these characters without hitting my own guy? No, I can't. That is a lot of damage with one attack, though, so I feel like it behooves me to do this, except... Will this guy opportunity attack me from where he's standing if I do this? I'm not sure. So let me actually start by snubbing this dude.
And stay down.
Then we'll frag this guy, do as much damage to him as we possibly can.
Outgoing frag.
And he's disabled, whatever that means. Then, can we hit him with this double shot? 50% chance, obstructed, and I might hit my friend, so no.
Yep.
Oh, he's disabled, which means his opportunity attack went away. That's great. So, bayonet charge. Can I do that to him? Yes, I can kill him with a bayonet charge. Point blank.
Up close and
Oh,
personal.
nice. Okay, so we have got very few times, though. Very few turns, though, to get to that other guy. So let's... Without exposing ourselves to too much danger, let's make as much forward progress as we can. Including with Jack. We should heal these guys at some point. By the way, notice your character can often go only a certain distance, but they will cheat you and let you go just a little bit further if there's cover, which I absolutely love. I love the fact that they let you cheat just a little bit to go further if you're headed towards cover.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's send Jack out to grab this first. Oh, Goonbuggy suggested that Jack could have stunned the little guy. I've got a stun ability? I hadn't noticed that. Cloak, Wingman, Barrier, Sonic Capsule. I might not actually... So you can choose what abilities you add to Jack. It may be that I never added whatever stun ability you're supposed to have with Jack. Okay, so I'm going to move 2 first to see if we reveal any enemies. And then I'm going to move 1 more.
Vanguard, reporting in.
Did that reveal an enemy? Yes, back there. Okay. So we'll get behind some good cover. And then Jack will cloak, because we do not want him shot. Oh, they're serious about that, huh? All right. So, what we're going to do is... Hey, Jack. What's your range on that smoke capsule? Looks like he can't get to them. Can he get close enough to fire it without getting into their Overwatch range? Like, can he... Okay, I could... Okay, let's go one step first. Over here. What about now? Can I block them with this? Not really. Okay, so... I'm kind of putting Jack at risk here because I can't cloak him if I move him up further. And also intend to use smoke. But I think this is worth it. So I kill their Overwatch.
I'm listening.
But because I've got Marcella, she's going to run up real close to them, take cover, and then nade them. By the way, so you notice that her free cloak ability, the way it works is she doesn't have cloak for free. Cloak costs an action, but then gives her back an action. So basically what that means is she can use her cloak and she can move on the same turn after cloaking. But the thing she can't do is just automatically cloak at the end of every turn. She can't take a bunch of actions that would interrupt her cloak and then cloak at the end. It's a way to give her a free cloak without giving her the free ability to just always be cloaked. It's a pretty clever way to sort of use the rules to sort of balance something like that out. Tandilense says, sometimes I use Jack to trigger Overwatch. I could totally see that working. That makes sense.
Orders.
Okay, so let's... So this guy, he also has... He also has a grenade. So let's have him use his grenade first. Do as much damage to these guys as he possibly can.
Rolling frag.
Oh, we kind of knocked that guy silly. And then... I want to move her up mostly so that she's close
Roger that.
next turn when she wants to release that prisoner. So let's throw her frag grenade at these guys. Oh, wait, is she going to be hit by them? Are they going to opportunity attack her if she tries this move? Hold on. Jack? Oh, Jack can't do anything. Okay, we're going to try... Nope. Oh, right, I can't shoot at these guys. Okay, what I'm going to do is... I'm going to Overwatch
Kill zone established.
in case a guy wants to run up and attack her. I don't know what this is going to do. Now, of course, a proximity mine might not count as aggressive. Why did I do that? I'm going to place a proximity mine here. So that if either of these guys move, both of them will be hit by it. But I think that might not... If that was going to trigger their opportunity attacks, it might not. There we go!
Who's next?
Oh! That's what their opportunity attack... It's not an opportunity attack. It's a gas expulsion. That's right. I forgot. These enemies, when you kill them, they have an explosion of poison gas that can hit you. Which means if you've got a mission where the whole deal is your character can't take any damage, you have to absolutely avoid those enemies like the plague. Okay, so she's the closest. So I think I'm going to have her release this person. Here he is. So we now got a few turns to extract. That's a long way to go in just a handful of turns. But, okay, good. The timer went away, I think. Yeah, I don't see the timer mentioned on the screen anywhere anymore. So, okay, I was worried that I would have to get out within those, 5 turns. But it looks like I don't.
Orders.
Yeah, let's move this guy up. We're going to keep them together. And then
Yeah.
Jack. Let's move Jack up a couple. And then I'm kind of debating whether to use his healing on them now. They might need more healing later. And so I think I'm going to hold on to the healing even though Spectre is damaged. I think I'm going to hold on to the healing. So let's do that. And rather than getting this guy up ahead, let's just have him overwatch in case some enemies just suddenly drop in this position.
Eyes peeled.
So, La Coalición is saying that apparently
On it.
using Jack as a decoy to attract Overwatch fire might be a war crime. He's a soldier, you know, he's signed on for this like everyone else. I think it would be intolerant to treat your AI companion as less than a soldier who needs, you know, extra protection. He can stand up to this like anybody else. Okay, so
Ready.
the enemies that just dropped are enemies that will charge at you and murder you. So I kind of want to let them come to me rather than me come to them. Yeah, this is kind of nerve-wracking because they're not that far away. Yeah, I'm going to move this guy up to see if he can reveal where they are. Okay. They're not very close, which means I think... Let's move up and just... This might be a bad idea.
Setting up a perimeter.
Just having just 1 point of Overwatch here might be a bad idea. In fact, yeah, let's only move this guy... Okay, so he might be... Okay, I'm going to have him stay back, and I'm just going to have him Overwatch around these guys. Or maybe just down this way, so in case the enemies come from this way,
Bring it on. I'm ready.
he can shoot them before there's a problem. And then let's also move Jack up here. Have him use a little defensive dealy, the barrier on these guys.
All right.
And then cloak. Hopefully this is fine.
Girls, we're on the move.
Okay, they didn't come that close. I was afraid they were just going to cover a lot of distance and just annihilate me, but no. So, in that case, I don't know if these guys count as being behind cover when they're behind cover. So
Waiting
let's
orders.
move this guy. I just don't want to move people so far that they're going to be vulnerable to these little dudes. So I think, because I don't have a timer, I think I might actually just
Scout reporting in.
Overwatch again and let them come to me. Maybe move this guy up a little bit more, though that makes me nervous because he could be vulnerable to somebody with a gun.
On it.
And then we'll just keep Jack close and cloak him.
Support ready.
All right, let's see how this goes. Wait. Okay, end turn.
Engaging.
Oh, these guys are getting around. Okay. Okay, so now Marcella can actually shoot this guy.
Shit. Gotta
What? Dang it.
Looks dead to me.
Okay. I guess if you miss, they get to advance on you. That sucked. Jack is in trouble. Okay. Can I get to a position where I can shoot this little dude? Yes, but he might advance on me and kill me.
Affirmative.
I'm gonna try it. 43%.
Almost out.
Oh, come on. Try again. There we go. Okay, that one went a little better than the last one. I think these guys did better because they were in cover. Jack took the brunt of that for some reason. Maybe it was the barrier protecting them? I'm not sure. Okay, so I can move him here and shoot that guy once. I guess that might be my best move. I don't know. There's no such thing as a best move. That was a lucky shot. That was a dumb move and a lucky shot. Okay, so let's say if that guy wants to advance on us, we're going to try to shotgun him. And then let's get Jack. I'm nervous about Jack. I don't want to lose Jack. We're going to just cloak the heck out of Jack. And then that's it.
Dig in. We've got incoming.
Hostile sighted.
Okay, that was useless. I should have buffed her accuracy, honestly.
We're up.
Okay. So let's use a frag grenade on this guy. Do as much damage to him as I possibly can.
Throwing frag.
Which moves him closer
I'm listening.
to this guy, where he might actually... Let's try to shoot him back a little bit. Come on. Die. Did I get poisoned?
You got
Looks like I did get poisoned. Okay, fine, whatever. I think that's all the enemies, though. So let's move up. I mean, we might even be able to go as far as... I'm assuming there's no new enemies there? I don't know.
target in sight.
Oh, wait, target in sight? Does that mean... Oh, that just means destination in
Yeah.
sight. Okay. Thanks for confirming, Spectre. All right. Just in case enemies are about to land on us again, let's stay under cover. Let's stay cloaked. So Tandilense is wondering what Jack's rightmost ability is. I'll check next turn.
Affirmative.
Heads up. Locust activity. Hey,
All right. So Jack's... I think this is some kind of healing ability, right? Oh, yeah. It heals people within my aura. That's right. And it looks like... I feel like my guys are actually healing automatically somehow, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if everybody can make it into the circle, but we're going to try.
Go ahead.
Almost!
Roger that.
We can almost make it in. This would be very frustrating if we were... Oh, good. Good, good, good. We actually did make it. All right, we did it. So, Goonbuggy, thanks for taunting me into this, because even though I was terrified of coming at this with only a single character, it ended up working out. So we got WizKid and Ozone. So now I think those characters are going to hang around and be potentially recruitable if I want to recruit them. I don't have any particular desire to recruit them. I think that the team I've got is probably okay. But we've got them. And one thing that's a little strange about this game. Note that... So basically, there's something off about the balance of leveling up characters. Where if I'm playing a variety of characters and I'm trying to level up all of my team simultaneously... Note that Spectre is one of the longest standing characters I've had. I've had her from the very beginning of the game. She's level 5. We just recruited 2 brand new level 6 characters. So I think there's something a little bit off about the numbers in this game because it feels like if I'm at the point where I should be recruiting level 6 characters in missions like this, my main character should be level 6 or 7 minimum. Because it feels weird to have to sort of like say, like, oh, well, the characters I had at the beginning who I've been with the entire time, I feel like I'm making a bad move bringing them into a match because they're not as powerful as the people I just barely recruited. Caprain says that Fire Emblem does this too. So I wish there was, like, it feels like there should be either some extra balancing done here to sort of get these things in line with each other, or, I don't, because I think part of the problem is, if I had played literally only the same 4 characters in every single mission the entire time, they probably would be like level 8 or something right now, right? But because I'm spreading it out, all of those other like I'm spreading out the experience, and that means that my new recruits, which are coming in at the same schedule, this is what my guess is anyway. I don't know what the numbers are doing under the surface, but what I'm guessing is that these new recruits are trained as though I was playing the same characters all the time, and they're coming in underneath the experience level of those characters. So if there was some way to sort of like even that out. So like as I'm spreading out the experience, maybe the characters who are back at the base are that are not going in the mission, they're still getting a subset of the experience, so they're leveling up 2 in the background, so the overall ambient level of my team is going up at a faster rate. That's one way you could do it. You could also base like recruit levels on like the overall ambient level of your team, so if you're or something like that. But no, that's how would you assess that? I don't know. Anyway, the point is, this feels a little weird, but whatever, it's fine. I still love playing this game. It's definitely not like a critical failure of any kind. And so now I have got a bunch of cases that I've unlocked, including this legendary case. So each of these is going to have some kind of character or weapon mod in it. So for instance, diagnosis. So I get a lancer mod. So on the gun of a support character, I can put a lancer mod that makes him better at healing by a significant amount. So I give up some other benefit from my weapon in order to make my healing better. So let's just... Oh, so I've just opened all... They gave me an open all button. So yeah, so I've got all of these different items that I can now go back through my characters, and it'll sort of highlight the characters who have new new equipment that they could use. Like I could go over to Gabe Diaz, for instance, and say on his Lancer, right now he's got a legendary Overwatch stock, which is, gives him this passive skill called Patrol, which means I do extra damage with my Overwatch shots. But if I decided that I didn't want that, I could go down and grab, what was that other one? At least I assumed that oh, it's not the stock. It's not the stock. It's the sight. So he's got, okay, so right now he's got a diagnostic scope. And there is actually so I just unlocked this new diagnostic scope. And this, actually, I think this legendary this is the one I just opened. So now he's got kind of an older one, which only, what did that do? It gave me a 20% to my healing skills. I can upgrade that now to 40%. So yeah, so that sort of gold box that I opened has now made my main healing character, his bonus is now twice as big as it was before. So I'm not going to make you watch me go through all of the characters, look at all of the upgrades, and see where I want to distribute them, because that's bookkeeping, that's logistics, that's not nearly as fun. Oh, so Tandilense points out that actually this is a feature of this game that I forgot, but which actually helps a lot. So when I was talking about that balance issue where, because I'm spreading out, all the different characters that I'm playing, that means that they all level up more slowly and they actually fall behind the recruits. I had forgotten that they actually made a rule that when you've got those multiple missions available at once on the screen, you actually can't bring the same characters to the same mission. So once I brought Spectre to this mission, I can't bring Spectre to other missions. And so that actually forces me to spread it out, which is a good move on their part, because that means that instead of having some players who only play the same 4 characters all the time, and some players who spread it out and having vastly different leveling situations in those different scenarios, because you're forced to bring out a variety of characters, more players, like that evens out the behavior of different players and makes it so they're more predictable. But because they did that, I feel like that they definitely need to have your new recruits line up better with your experience level, because now the character, that scenario I was suggesting where people are vastly different in terms of how they level their characters, it's lessened. Of course, I think there's also the question of permadeath. Like if you're losing characters, that also has an effect on how experience gets distributed and lost, and maybe you'll need to maybe if you're doing a bad job, or you're suffering a lot of tragedies, then maybe bringing in higher level characters is actually the solution you need. So there's arguments you can make in a lot of different ways, but still, that's mostly I'm just free associating and sort of talking through this so that you see how a systems designer thinks about these kinds of things, in case that's why you're on my channel. So anyway, thank you, Tandilense, for encouraging me to come back and play this game. That was actually really fun. Even though I've played a bunch of missions like this before, and they do tend to be about the same, which is one of the reasons why it's easy. This game takes a long time to beat, and you end up playing a lot of very similar mission types. It can sort of start to drag on you. It's a similar experience to what I'm having with Midnight Suns, where I've gotten, a third, maybe half the way through that game. I'm not even sure how far I am into the game. But I hit the point where I was like, okay, I've been doing this a lot. I don't know how far I am from the ending, and I'm just tired, and I need to move on to something else. I hit that point a couple of times with Gears as well. And it's really difficult because, on one side, there are players out there who assess the value of the game based on how many hours of entertainment it offers, which makes sense, particularly if you're only going to buy a handful of games each year, the most. Then that means you want those games to entertain you as much as possible. So I get where folks who assess them that way are coming from. But that also means that games have this pressure to make themselves as long as you can stomach. You know, it's like if the game can be 30 hours long without 30 minutes long would be actually kind of cool. If they can be 30 hours long without driving all of the audience away, then they will try to make it 30 hours long if they can, so that it has that sense of value, you know, that comes from buying a Costco size box of food versus a grocery store size box of food. But that can actually hurt the experience for somebody who doesn't have that kind of time to devote to one particular game. They're like, I'm getting exhausted by this game and I want to see the ending, but I can't. So it's a difficult decision to make how long you want to make your game. I do really like, I have a great affection for games that have short campaigns and then eternal sandbox modes, because then you can actually get to a satisfying ending fairly quickly, but then there's still a lot left to do after you've hit that ending. And so you can decide as a player, do I want to just get to the ending, feel satisfied and move on, or do I want to play this game eternally? And both are viable options. Tandilense says, I've been playing 1 or 2 missions in this game a week lately since they're long, and I really want to finish it. That actually, you know, if I could have that kind of discipline to just switch games fairly frequently and just keep playing a game in the background, just not playing it all the time, that might be a good way to handle games like this and actually get to the ending of them at some point along the way. Anyway, I should wrap up this video, but again, thank you to Tandilense for getting me to come back to this game. I'm probably going to keep playing these missions. I mean, I'm so close to the end. I'd be crazy not to keep trying to play this game and actually see the ending. So I appreciate it, and let's wrap this up with a subscribe button for YouTube people, links to other videos, and yeah. Yes. I don't know what to say anymore. I've done so many of these endings.